In Ruiz Royula, most characters were truly existed in real history, but one day became higher rank consort, and one day passed away were different with real history. Can you guess which characters survived to last minute in real history? The Emperor Qianlong passed away at 89. During his life, he totally had about 50 emperors and concubines. 29 of them were in the last three ranks, which was 58% of total Qianlong's imperial women. In October 1735, Qianlong became the emperor. In this year, he had one empress, one noble consort, and two consorts. In 1737, noble lady Jia was promoted to noble concubine Jia. 4 years later, noble concubine Jia was promoted to the consort Jia. Two lower rank concubines were promoted to noble concubine. Meanwhile, a 13-year-old girl came into the inner court. She was directly promoted to noble concubine Shu. 1754 was a very special year. In beginning of this year, Qianlong's true love, noble consort Gao, was seriously sick. To pray for her, Qianlong widely promoted his imperial women. Noble consort Gao was promoted to imperial noble consort, but she passed away 3 days later. Consort Xian and consort Chun were promoted to the noble consort at the same time. This was the first time in Qing dynasty the emperor had two noble consorts at the same time. Noble concubine Yu was promoted to consort Yu. Noble lady Wei became noble concubine Ling. In 1748, Qianlong's first empress Xiaoxian passed away. Imperial women's ranks widely changed again. Noble consort Xian was promoted to managing inner court, imperial noble consort. Consort Jia became noble consort. Noble concubine Ling and noble concubine Shu were promoted to consort. 1 year later, Qianlong promoted noble lady Chen to noble concubine Wan, but noble concubine Wan's living conditions were same as noble lady. In 1750, the imperial noble consort became Qianlong's second empress. 1 year later, Qianlong promoted two noble concubines from noble lady. In 1753, Qianlong promoted a new noble concubine, the noble concubine Xin. In 1755, noble consort Jia passed away. She was posthumously promoted to imperial noble consort. In 1757, noble concubine Yi passed away. 4 years later, Qianlong promoted consort Ling to noble consort, and two noble concubines to consort. Meanwhile, noble lady Duo was promoted to noble concubine Yu. In 1760, noble consort Chun was promoted to imperial noble consort, and passed away 1 month after promotion. In 1762, Qianlong promoted noble lady He to noble concubine Rong. 1 year later, the noble concubine were promoted to consort, but consort Xin only was consort for months and passed away in 1764. In 1765, Qianlong's second empress cut her hairs for unknown reasons, and she was demoted based on facts. Several months later, noble consort Lin was promoted to the imperial noble consort to manage the inner court. 1 year later, the empress passed away. By 1766, almost all women who were married with Qianlong before he became the emperor were gone. In 1768, Consort Qing was promoted to the noble consort. Noble concubine Rong became consort. Noble lady Chen was promoted to noble concubine after she stayed in the Forbidden City for 2 years. 3 years later, Qianlong promoted noble lady Rong to noble concubine Duan. In 1774, Qianlong lost noble consort Qing and consort Yu. Noble concubine Duan was promoted to consort because she was pregnant. 1 year later, consort Dun gave birth to Qianlong's last kid. In 1775, imperial noble consort Lin passed away. Consort Shu became the highest rank imperial woman in the inner court. In 1776, Qianlong already was 65 years old. This year, an 18-year-old girl came into the Forbidden City and directly became noble concubine Xun. Meanwhile, noble lady Lan, after coming into the inner court for 20 years, she finally was promoted to noble concubine Cheng. Noble concubine Shun was promoted to the consort Shun. 1 year later, Consort Shu passed away. In 1778, Consort Dun was demoted to noble concubine Dun because she killed an imperial maid. But because Qianlong really loved noble concubine Dun's daughter, in 1780, Qianlong restored noble concubine Dun's consort title. In 1784, noble concubine Cheng passed away. 4 years later, consort Shun was demoted to noble lady for unknown reason and died in this rank in 1790. Also, in 1788, Consort Rong passed away. 4 years later, Consort Yu passed away. Qianlong posthumously promoted her to noble consort. In 1794, Qianlong already was 83 years old. He decided to retire in following year. So, in 1794, he last time widely promoted his imperial women. Noble concubine 1 was Qianlong's 格格. After being noble concubine for 45 years, she finally was promoted to consort. Her story tells us, once we were still alive, everything could happen. Noble concubine Xun was in this rank for 28 years and finally became the consort. In this year, Qianlong also promoted two noble ladies to noble concubine. Both of them were stayed in the court as lower rank concubine for very long time. In 1797, Consort Xun passed away. 1 year later, Consort Yang was promoted to noble consort, and the noble concubine Fang became consort. In 1799, Qianlong passed away. He totally had 9 surviving imperial women, 4 of them still in last 3 ranks. So, for the characters in Ruyi's royal law, Consort Ying and the noble concubine Yi survived to last minutes in real history.